Hello again. Today we are taking a look at The Art of Gormenghast, a book about the making of the BBC miniseries adaptation of the first two Gormenghast novels. An amazing insight into this one-of-a-kind production filled with beautiful images throughout. Enjoy! This book was mostly written by Estelle Daniel, the producer of the series, but it also includes an introduction by Stephen Fry, who played the part of Professor Belgrove, as well as mostly single pages written by the actors about their roles and their relationship with the story. The book starts with a surprisingly lengthy chunk on Mervyn Peake, the writer of the original novels, his life and work as a writer, illustrator and soldier in World War II, where he actually began writing Titus Groan, the first Gormenghast novel. After that, there is a chapter on the novels themselves, and it's refreshing to see this much space dedicated to the person whose work is being adapted. Throughout the book, there's also an impressive amount of illustrations made by Mervyn Peake himself, and it's quite interesting to see how similar his vision is to the BBC production. All this provides a show of respect that signals the whole philosophy behind this particular adaptation, an understanding and love of the original work that's rarely seen. The show came out in 2000, 1 year before the first Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings film, and although Gormenghast had a much lower budget, there is a similar enthusiasm and ambition shown by BBC here, as well as the unusually long pre-production phase, which would be considered a luxury today. Thanks to the intense planning and preparation, there's a joy and authenticity in the costumes, from which a lot of the newer shows could learn a thing or two. The difference is especially obvious when looking at contemporary fantasy shows, where everything looks so new and clean and simple, but in Gormenghast there is such a rich and detail-heavy, worn and man-made look to everything. And the same could be said for the stunning sets, crafted with a great care and designed with a unique vision, worthy of the descriptions from the novels, at least in spirit, if not a verbatim translation. The set design is quite imaginative, and there is an ingenuity in the way the sets were made as well. In a similar way to a theatrical production, they use different designs constructed in the same shapes so they could be transformed into each other, increasing the number of sets to around 120, all of them a joy to look at. They hold a variety of influences, ranging from 20th century artists such as Paul Klee, Max Ernst or Kandinsky, all the way to the ancient architecture of the Far East. I love that the production design didn't lean too much into the Victorian Gothic aesthetic, although it does factor in, but they realized that the true spirit of Gormenghast is best expressed with stark colors and eclectic visuals taken from different parts of the world and different ages. As you can see, Apart from the images, there is a lot of text which is fun to go through, but I was mainly concerned with the pictures, and thankfully the book includes a fair amount. When it comes to uniquely and carefully crafted shows or films such as this, whenever I see a beautiful piece of clothing or prop or furniture or wall painting, I feel the urge to take a closer look, as close as I can get, and I find resources like this invaluable. I am sorry for mentioning The Lord of the Rings again, but I used to devour the behind-the-scenes DVDs that came with the extended editions, watching them over and over as a child. As much as it's magical and immersive to see a film without the knowledge of how it's made, it's also magical to see the effort and collaboration necessary to make it happen. It is a miracle, but it's an attainable miracle, and a huge inspiration that cultivates a desire to make something beautiful of our own. Well, that would be all for now. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.